The volunteers used a chainsaw to cut off a piece of the antler. Now they are completely free. Hopefully they'll not fight with each other again. The dog swam across the river with the baby deer while it kept bleeding. The little one was evidently scared. The baby was frightened and called for his mother. The dog swims as fast as possible, rescues it, and brings it back to safety. All the while, the dog owners kept on encouraging him. Such a good boy. The baby deer was saved. It was so heartwarming. A cat stuck upside down inside a rain gutter. The firefighters worked quickly and didn't give up on the wedged feline until it was set free. How the crazy cat got in there, nobody knows. You may have seen crazy cat videos before, but probably not like this one. In typical cat fashion, after the heroic firefighters finally saved the cat from the danger, it just ran off without even a thank you meow. But it's so cool that he's free now. Good job! Was walking his dog near the water basin in Manchester when he heard the cries of a woman. She turned out to be the owner of two dogs, which were drowning in a frozen reservoir at that moment. The dogs were trying to climb out, but the ice was breaking and didn't let them get out. Well, Timothy and his loyal pet dog Keto rushed into the frozen reservoir. Timothy helped one dog first and then came back into the water for the second one. All this time, Keto was supporting the dogs with his moving around and touching their noses. Luckily, Timothy turned out to be a swimmer and diver that had been used to swimming in cold waters, and everything ended okay. A puppy fell into the well. This well has a long pipe that leads to another well. The puppy is wild and runs along the pipe and is not given to the hands. The man who called the rescue group promised to adopt him in case they got him out. They made a long stick out of the water supply pipes with the bottle at the end to push this puppy from one side to the other. They pushed the puppy out. He growled and wanted to crawl back. He is wild and homeless. When the puppy was taken out, he was locked into the room so that he would not run away. Taras heard the howl of the puppy, saw that he had fallen into the well, and couldn't get him out. Finally, he found this rescue group. This is a wonderful example of human kindness. He deserves respect. Now this puppy will live with Taras and guard the fence with him. Taras will feed him, talk to him, and the puppy will become more friendly. A deer got stuck between the gate bars. The rescuers arrived to free him as fast as they could. Poor deer was very scared and tried to run away from the rescuers. But he was so weak, having been stuck there without food and water. He was really confused and stressed out. But finally he was released. That's so cool that everything's alright with the deer now. It's a story about a poor dog who got stuck in a grain waterfall. Strong water flow prevented him from swimming out. It was also dangerous to help him. 4 people pulled hands towards him, holding each other, risking their lives. After several attempts, they could do it. There was so much joy and applause after the successful rescue. It is so heartwarming. Foxy became trapped in the fence. She'd gone down in sort of a V in between 2 fences and done herself rather a lot of damage. That tail has got to be properly amputated. Once safely freed, the fox was over to the vet. After the leg injury was closed, attention can now turn to her wounded tail. It needs an amputation. The vet had the exposed bone removed. The tail was mended and healed. Luckily, healing was completed. She was well on the way to return to the wild. So she's got that, and we will hope that she lives a long and prosperous life. This elephant accidentally fell into the canal while drinking water. The sidewalls were inclined and smooth, and the poor creature couldn't get out of its trap. Creating some kind of a ladder, the wildlife officers were trying to help the giant, but it depended only on the elephant, if it could use the ladder or not, and he was doing his best. It took him several hours and he failed many times, but at last he succeeded. Using the ladder, the elephant got out of the water and ran away as fast as he could. The rescue mission ended in success. A skunk was stuck in a hole in the wall. She was trying to help herself, but it was useless. Rescuers were trying to hook the skunk with the rope and pull it out, but that didn't work. So they tried to break through the wall and make a bigger hole to get the skunk out. It was hard for him to get out, but in the end, they succeeded. The baby was stunned and confused, but happy and free. What a relief. The rescuers in St. Petersburg, Russia, rushed to help a cat that somehow had got stuck in a car wheel. It was a rather serious challenge, as the hole was too narrow. With the help of vegetable oil, they tried to push the cat's head through, but failed. Later, they decided to use some special equipment to cut the metal wheel. All the rescuers wanted was not to hurt the poor cat. It was extremely delicate work, but they succeeded and the naughty creature was set free. These people accidentally stopped in the field and saw a fox stuck in a trap. He was completely lonely. There was no one to help him around. His foreleg was stuck there and he couldn't get it out. He was very scared and tried to run away while the woman tried to free his paw. After a safe release, this fox ran away. What a stroke of luck. There are two newborn baby goats. These babies are a bit too small to walk on the floor of the goat barn, so their legs are stuck. A man came out to help them not get stuck in their legs anymore. These cute baby goats will learn to walk more carefully. Poor seagull was found in a dangerous situation. She was caught on the hook and hung on the line. These people were sailing in the middle of the river. They accidentally noticed the seagull. From a distance, it seemed that someone had tied her there. But having swum up close, everything became clear. People cut the line and began to pull the hook out of the seagull's mouth. The guys fixed her beak and carefully pulled the hook. After the successful rescue, they let the seagull go. The seagull looked tired, but she was safe. What a relief. She will not feel this pain and will live a happy seagull life. The bear walked around with the bottle on its head. It was stuck, and he couldn't get rid of it. The rescuers came and began to remove this bottle from the bear. The poor bear tried to get any food in the bottle, but unfortunately, his head got stuck there. He walked with it for a very long time because there were deep scars on his neck. He was struggling. It's a big fortune for the bear to meet the rescuers because they could get this bottle out and save him. Now he can live happy and breathe easily. A group of tourists spotted a zebra foal stuck in the trees. The baby was frightened when the rescuers surrounded her to help, but they kindly reassured her. They easily freed her. It's scary to think what would have happened to this baby if they hadn't noticed her. The zebra foal wanders through the trees and heads to them right as a pair of adult zebras cross the road behind their safari vehicle. So these two adults were nearby when the foal was freed. There were a lot of tears in the group. He's with his family and is walking and nursing from his mom just fine. Animals often get in trouble during winter. This exhausted deer had wandered onto the partially frozen lake, fallen, and was not able to get up. This guy was successfully rescued, brought to land, and given time to rest before releasing. Be careful on the ice, bro!
Is a rabbit. It's a small rabbit.
Even after 34 years of saving animals from weird situations, Simon is still amazed by some cases. He never had to deal with a wild rabbit stuck in a car engine before. Mr. Bunny didn't want to leave the car or be caught. Suddenly, the rabbit took matters into his own paws, found a way out underneath the back of the car, and ran towards a busy road. Simon carefully grabbed him. Yeah, he was stressed and frightened. Now he can go free back to the wild where he belongs. Look, wow, that was cool. He's running in a dead straight line. Back to his wildlife. A moose was stuck in an active railroad trestle bridge. Rescuers sedated him and got out. They relocated him to a safe area where it could return to the wild with minimal injuries. It's great to see that it ended well for those involved, and for this very fortunate moose. The Indian rescue team got a call on the helpline. A dog was stuck on a 2-foot wide ledge on the 18th floor. The group arrived at the location. They could not believe how he managed to get up there. It was a tense situation. It was not easy for the dog to stand there with no hope of rescue. They carefully took the frightened dog and let it go. He felt nervous, but was safe and ran away. We hope this guy never gets in such a situation again. A Bambi got stuck between the gate bars. Poor baby kept desperately bleeding, calling for mom. He was stressed and overwhelmed. Finally, he was released. His mother was worried about him. And that's so cool that everything is all right with that little guy now. A poor red fox had become stuck with his paw caught in a tree. They easily found the fox. The tree was very strong and hard to open up, but after some time, the rescuer was able to open the tree to release the poor thing. She was so stressed and tried to bite him. Unfortunately, this fox will most likely lose his paw that was caught. The good news is the 3-footed fox can still live a happy life. Directly after releasing, the fox immediately ran away. We wish the best to this beautiful creature. Now he can return to his family and be free. A deer was trapped in the muddy bed of a dry irrigation canal. Reporter Kale and photographer Dave found her. The location is very remote, and no one else was around to help. Luckily, Dave had a length of rope in his car. For around half an hour, they tried everything. The canal bed was very unstable, and they could only go out a few feet. The best approach seemed to be looping the rope around the deer behind her elbows several times. The poor deer was really scared and ran away from them into the mud again when they released her for the first time. They needed to move away as soon as she was free, so she wouldn't run right back into the mud. Finally, they got the deer out. She ran away immediately to her children. Thank God these two men had noticed her, and now she is free and safe. Frankie got a call about a deer with her head stuck in a bucket. He had to act fast. When he came, the deer was already in the water. The deer in the water was swimming in circles. The water was ice cold.
A little bit more, almost. I got it.
She was going further and further out. Frankie was not confident to swim. Thank God, he took out the bucket. But the deer was so confused and continued going in circles. She understood that the danger had passed and was very calm. It was so great seeing her run off.
The dog's gonna be about 50 yards out. Hey, John.
A dog named Kona had fallen through the ice and was trapped. This poor dog was there totally alone without any hope. Without hesitation, Jonathan jaunted across the ice and went in after him, bringing him safely back to land and reuniting him with his owner. Just imagine, what a big relief for Kona and his owner. In the early morning after snowfall, the rescuers from the Paws Town channel heard a faint meow on the way to the morning exercise. When he saw a motionless kitten, his heart got almost broken. The sad thought flashed in the mind, but touching the poor thing, he saw it was alive. The kitten was obviously frozen and needed urgent help. The rescuer brought the poor little thing home quickly and started massaging him to warm him up. With the help of a syringe, the man gave the little boy some milk and watched his condition. In a few minutes, the kitten became more active and even could stand on his feet. Now, he was safe. It was a lucky day for the little fellow. A girl giraffe got a wire snare around her neck. The snare had made a fairly deep cut in her neck. It's a trap for poachers, and she had been in there for about a month. This lady was with her baby giraffe. It makes it more urgent to save the mom. Rescuers needed to use a tranquilizer dart to free her from the trap and treat her wounds. 7 people have to put their body weight on their leaf to hold it down. She woke up. Now she will be fine and go back to her baby. That was the most challenging animal for the rescuers. His hoof had been run over, and a kind person had tried to rag to stop the bleeding. His protective mother panicked when she thought they were taking her baby from her. But she didn't need to worry because she was coming too. The toe of one hoof had been torn and would need many weeks of treatment to heal. Meet Bambi today. His leg is almost healed. With his mother nearby, who played, explored, and healed, but always found time for a comfort feed. He can't stop jumping and playing with his sibling. It is such a happiness to see this boy healthy and cheerful. Montpellier is an adult male bat who got trapped in a pool enclosure. It's quite difficult for bats to get out of enclosed places.
There's spiders freaking webs everywhere. I hate spiders. Okay, come on. Come on. Swim. Come on.
Where they can't climb high enough to be able to fly. Montpellier was a sufficiently calm boy. Probably he got so tired unsuccessfully trying to get out. He's doing fine in care and didn't damage anything other than his pride. Now this little Batman is completely recovered and ready to return to wildlife. He's just a lucky guy being noticed in the pool. Keep your good luck, Montpellier. As we know, deer love to be stuck in a fence. This young deer too. But of course, it's not funny for this guy at all. As people noticed what was going on, they stopped and got out to help the young fellow. He looked very tired. How did the deer get so stuck? Several strong people did their best to free him. It was hard. People helped this poor guy to find his way home. After such an adventure, he'll think straight before running into a fence again. A dog trapped on the river due to rain. Rescuers came with the tractor and put a crane on a small island to pull the dog out. It was really dangerous for her. One of the rescuers went down to get her. Now she's in a safe place. So lucky. The dog was stranded on a half-frozen lake. A drone operator had been keeping an eye on the little guy. When these two jumped in their canoe, it took an hour to get her in. She got on shore unharmed, but stressed and very hungry. Rescuers are trying to find her owner. This cute doggie needs her family, but I'm sure she won't last long because somebody will take this sweet girl to a new home. A martin wanted to cross the river, and it was hard for her. A boatman decided to help her. She was so glad to be near the shore that she could not restrain herself and jumped ahead of time. Goodbye, little Martin. Ginger Tomcat has strayed onto a neighboring balcony and is now stuck. It's kinda hard to believe. His neighbor opposite is risking his own life to rescue his cat. Now, for the return. If the cat struggles, they could both be unbalanced. Thankfully, the cat is placid, and miraculously, the neighbor's reckless and ill-advised rescue effort doesn't end in disaster. It's a story about a bat boy. He had a fracture on his wrist. The joints were all bending the wrong way and the wing wouldn't fold up.
Hey, you tell me about it.
Whatever the cause or the exact anatomical issue, this wasn't an injury that would survive to be able to fly again well enough for release. So unfortunately, it was decided to make him a euthanasia. They gave him some grape to make him a bit happy for the last time. He settled down to nom-nomming them in a gradually calmer way, stuffing his cheeks like a chipmunk. Unfortunately, Chipmunk wasn't ever going to be able to be released with his wing damage, but at least he went out with a face full of grapes and had some last delights. This rescuer team came to get the baby raccoons out of the house. It was a difficult challenge to get them. Look at these cute little babies.
I like to have a little bit.
Their eyes are just opening. They were pretty confined to this area, and the mom has run out. They set up the baby box right where the mother will come out. Then she'll be able to take babies to an alternate den site. She took one baby. The other baby is still in here. He was okay in there. They left him for another night. The next day, the babies were all gone. That's great. She needed more time to grab him. Now the family is reunited in a safe place. A baby bear was found with burn injuries from a wildfire. The poor boy suffered burns on all 4 paws. It was so sad to see. The baby was in pain. His paws had been bandaged with gel to help soothe the pain and promote healing. Tamarack was being kept in a big and cozy space with a warm bed and a huge teddy bear to keep him company. As his wounds heal and he gets more comfortable in his new surroundings. But the bear escaped his enclosure and managed to tunnel under a fence. The photos of him were encouraging as he is alive and able to climb trees. So that story has a happy end. A poor deer trapped in the middle of the ice. He could not stand up and was exhausted. Fortunately, it was possible to supply him. Rescuers carefully pulled him back to shore. Thank God the worst for him is behind. This abandoned horse was in real danger, in really bad condition. It is so sad to see her. She was standing, but now she's in real danger of not getting up again. It's just disgusting if somebody could let an animal go this far like this. She's one of the thinnest horses Gonzalez has ever seen. They don't know how long she's been left like this, but definitely for a long time. The staff in the rehab center named her Giselle. They started to refeed her slowly. She's just enjoying being rubbed and loved. She just feels safe and secure. Giselle has made a remarkable recovery. Now she's gained a lot of muscle. Her natural, perky personality is recovered. She likes to talk. She feels herself she's the best one here, like a prima donna. But she is a really pretty girl, so we don't blame her. It's so great to see this girl happy and healthy. The poor puppy was dumped from the truck on the ground. Then they hurriedly left the baby. He refused to leave. He was so confused and maybe loyal. They knew he was sick and dumped him. The man who noticed him took him to care. It is so terrible that people would do something like this to such a loving little guy. The puppy was called Bran. He was fighting at the hospital. The vets are very hopeful for his full recovery, hoping he gets to become a crazy puppy soon. Dear Bran, who is now named Gus, met his forever family. His new parents are just in love with him. Gus was celebrating his first birthday. He ended up right where he belongs. Happy birthday, Gus. Little baby foxes were left under the threshold. Rescuers dismantled the threshold and pulled them out one by one. They were so cute with little tails. Where's their mommy? They continued to look for more.
Hey, buddy. Look at you.
Then they got all the babies and put them in a heated release box. That's the mother. She stumbled across them and was surprised. The fox came back for her babies one by one. So rescuers are done, and the mother had her babies in a safe place. Lucky little babies. The rescuers from Hope for Paws got a call about a very scared and unhappy dog. On arriving to the place, the people realized that it would be a really difficult task to catch such a frightened dog. But at last, she surrendered and let the rescuers put a loop on her. Getting into people's hands, she relaxed and trusted them immediately. The rescue team called the pup Mackenzie and brought her to their center. She was so trustful that immediately she won the hearts of all team members. Doctors said her physical condition was normal, but psychologically she needed rehabilitation. So he prescribed Mackenzie a great amount of love and hugs, and it worked. This is the end of my list of stories for today. Really hope you'll support all these people with your likes, subscriptions, and donations. See ya!